So this thing, I kind of want to make a distinction. If you're picking up a PlayStation 5 and you're looking at all the new games that are coming out, and obviously you've got the likes of Astro's built in, you've got Spider-Man Miles Morales, there's all these other titles that are going to try and show off what your system is capable of. Something that I've realized, having done the review, obviously I recommend you go check out the PlayStation 5 review and the review of the likes of Spider-Man and everything else. But something I've realized over playing as many games on the system as possible is that the games that are built for the PS5, the likes of Demon's Souls, Godfall, even Godfall, do wow up front in a way that the likes of Spider-Man, the titles that are cross-gen don't. And it's not that something like Astro is not an incredible game, it's brilliant to play, but there was something about actually going into Demon's Souls and going, okay, this is what the system is actually capable of. That I kind of wish they had shipped and put Demon's Souls with the review unit so that, the likes of me and the other reviewers and everything could have championed that game as the this is what your system can do style release that it is, because there's so much in Demon's Souls that is just above and beyond what you'd expect. I mean, I'm not a PC-minded person. I can't break down the specifics of the anisotropic filtering. I don't know if that's a word, but it's similar to a word that's in the PC space. But there's something about the level of just, the frame rate, the level of texture quality, the overall sense of fidelity and detail that's in Demon's Souls that is head and shoulders above anything else on the PS5 right now. And I mentioned Godfall as well. My actual pick for this video is definitely Demon's Souls. But Godfall, for as much as it's being dragged in the reviews, and it does get insanely repetitive over time, that game, at the very beginning, before it becomes a horrible resource loot grind, when it's just a more linear story-based thing at the very beginning, where you're just going, combat arena to combat arena, picking up different weapons, taking on loads of different dudes, and everything is kicking the hell off, and it's all really bright and shiny. That game, because it was built with next-gen systems in mind, is still pretty eye-wideningly awesome, and I still love the beginning of that game. But the main thing that I want to sort of get across, and obviously it ties in with the whole which console game blew you away, is that as much as we've seen, and I have covered the likes of Spider-Man and Astro, it's not until you really see something that has been built for the next generation that you get it, that you really kind of go, oh my god, it's not just ray tracing, it's everything. It's overall fidelity, it's the frame rate being highlighted or heightened. It's literally every single part that goes into the experience that is a cumulative whole, and it really comes across in something like Demons. So yeah, wholeheartedly recommend Demon's Souls. I'm probably never gonna finish it because it's insanely hard. So yeah, go with something like Demon's Souls if you really want to see what the next generation is capable of.
Hello everyone, Perpetual Egg Jules here, and this is the thing, when it comes to what launch title absolutely blew me away, it has to be the one, the only, the slime Jesus blessed TimeSplitters for the PlayStation 2. That game was utterly ridiculous. I mean, sure, it didn't have much of a story going for it, but that is not what mattered. It was all about the multiplayer, baby! And even if you didn't have a load of mates and multi-taps around to get the most out of it, you could just put in tons of bots. And that was just, making your own maps, just lining them up in a corridor so that you put the bag right in front of you, you just had two miniguns, you just came down, you just sat there with your mate, just going like, what are we doing? Why are we wasting so much time just shooting endless bots over and over? Who cares? It's fun! That's what TimeSplitters is in a nutshell. Pure, unadulterated fun. And I loved it. In fact, when it comes to sort of like the multiplayer experience, while I know that TimeSplitters 2 and Future Perfect went and absolutely outshone it in nearly every way, at that time there, that was better than GoldenEye for me. It's a big statement, I know, but I had such a good time with it. Me and my pals just getting around, just have a few snacks, because we're little wee kids, have a few energy drinks, I'm all hyper, spend 3 a.m. just shooting people in the face. It might explain actually why I've turned out the way I am. But still, yeah, TimeSplitters 2 as a launch title. Name me a better one. Josh?
So the launch game that completely blew me away is probably one that didn't blow many other people away, and that's Battlefield 4 for the PlayStation 4. This was the one and only game I got with that console, and to be honest, it's all I needed. I was a huge Battlefield fan back in the day. I still am, but like this was the peak of my interest in the series, and I was looking forward to it so much because of the next-gen capabilities. Like, I had played Bad Company and I'd played Battlefield 3, but I'd always heard the rumors of what was possible on PC. 64 players in Conquest, these huge maps, jets, like these absolutely epic features that just weren't possible on previous console generations were now possible on the next gen. So I could finally get a taste of what PC players had been experiencing for like 10 years or whatever before then, and it properly lived up to the hype. Throw in these bigger maps with this Levolution mechanic where you had skyscrapers falling out of the sky mid-match and completely transforming the battlefield, and it genuinely felt next gen. It felt like nothing else I had played in the first-person multiplayer scene at the time, and I absolutely smashed this game for hours and hours over the Christmas period when I was at university, so I had absolutely nothing to do other than be at my parents' house and completely bug them with the sounds coming out of this game. Like, this sold me on Battlefield. I was already sold on Battlefield, but this sold me on, like Conquest. This sold me on what Battlefield was known for that I just couldn't access beforehand, and I don't think I'll ever trade this in or get rid of it because I have such fun memories of it, and it makes me remember exactly where I was in 2013, and I love it for that as well.
Now, unfortunately, the titles that these guys have talked about, they're not that great compared to the one launch title that eclipses literally everything else into the water, and that is Wii Sports, because my god was it revolutionary. The Wii itself was very revolutionary as well. It's just a brand new, like, the future is here gaming system, and my god, it really delivered back in the day. But Wii Sports itself was just so good. You've got boxing, which you didn't really play too much of. It was still like a great laugh. Your hits kind of, it really put you out of breath, having to like smack the other person in the face all the time. And then you had, tennis, which you could literally do this. And then you had baseball as well, which was always pretty good. Yeah, it was fairly competitive. Wasn't my thing. And then you had golf as well, which is probably the best golf game ever. I don't know what else can really come close to it, to be honest. It's pretty good. And then the ultimate game in Wii Sports was bowling, because bloody hell, there was mini games in that as well where you could like knock down 100 pins, and there was this like little secret on the top rail on like the right side, I think, and if you go all the way down that rail you can knock all those other pins down, and you can like cheat it so you can get 300 in every single game that you play, and also if you throw the ball behind yourself, everyone like jumps up and goes wow and spins around. It's so funny. It's just so iconic. Like the voice lines, the music, everything else is just brilliant. It's just so iconic and nostalgic. But yeah, Wii Sports, revolutionary, iconic, just probably one of the best launch titles there ever has been, really, just in my opinion.